everyone. Welcome back to Beauty School Bobby. We are so excited to be here with Sarah Parker, a Tennessee School of Beauty graduate that I love so much that I even let her watch my kids. We're also here with her mom, Carrie. So today we're going to talk about coming into beauty school and what that looked like for you. So thank you so much for being here today.
Of course.
It's so good to see you. So you are now working. I want to do a quick catch up. So you're working at...
Vaughn Jones Salon.
Yes, and you've been graduated from beauty school for almost a year?
Almost a year now, yeah.
Yeah.
Last October.
Yay! So loving the industry, still so happy you came into it.
Of course.
Good.
Couldn't imagine it any other way.
Good. Well, I want to talk to you about your experience as far as coming into the industry and what that looked like for you. So when do you think you first knew that hair was going to be in your future, that was something that you were going to make a career?
So my whole life I cheered in like the competitive cheer world. So we always had to have our hair and our makeup like all the same, perfect. And I would always help my friends do their hair, do their makeup, and then kind of just became a routine for me. And then I realized like, if I like it so much, might as well make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed it so far, yeah.
Good. And now you in high school, when you were in high school, this was not a thought. Like going to beauty school wasn't something that you were like, this is something I'm going to do. So when you were meeting with guidance counselors and stuff, was it encouraged or was it more like just college focused for you?
Mainly just college focused because pretty much all my friends were planning on like the 4-year college traditional kind of setting, and so I figured I would probably just take the same path, but I never really knew what I would want to major in or what I would want to do after that moving forward. So it was kind of hard for me, but like also I ended up taking that route anyway.
Yeah.
But I never really brought up the beauty school with my counselors in high school or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like I should be doing the college route.
Yeah. So now you have other children as well.
Two others.
Yes. So, and they went the traditional college route.
Yes.
So is that kind of just what you expected for Sarah? Or?
Yes. I mean, we just assumed, and I think probably nowadays most people assume that, college after high school is just as, an extension of, as easy as, or as normal as, high school after 8th grade. It's just sort of a given. Most people think that, I'm finishing high school, I'm going to college now to get a 4-year degree. So that's kind of what we thought, and that's what my 2 older children did. So that's kind of what we thought Sarah would do too.
Yeah.
And it really didn't occur to me to ask, do you think maybe you want to do something different? It was just like, okay, you're graduating. What college are you going to? So.
Right. And so when you went into college for 1 year, so you did finish both semesters, and then you came to mom and came to your parents and said what?
I'm not going back. It's not for me. Just not something I felt comfortable being in for that year, and things just weren't working out.
Yeah. What was it about college that was different, or was, now that you've been through beauty school, what was it about traditional college that was like a challenge for you?
Mainly like standardized testing has just never been something I've been good at. Like I always did my homework and stuff like that, but when it came to testing and things after that, I just felt like I wasn't really knowing my material and things, and I've always been more of a hands-on learner, and you don't really do that in college. It's mostly just lectures and writing things down and just trying to memorize off of that, but I've just never been good that way, so I knew I needed something that was going to be more hands-on and I'd be participating in more.
Yeah. And I know that year was probably challenging for you. Did you see a difference in her once she started beauty school and seeing that experience was maybe coming home a little happier, or?
Oh, definitely. There were a lot of times during her first year in college that she was like, I just don't want to be there. I don't think this is for me. I don't know what to major in. And at the time I was like, you've got plenty of time. You don't have to know, day one of college what you're going to major in. But she just had a lot of questions and just wasn't really happy with the overall experience. Didn't like being far away from home. And so I knew, we knew, that she wasn't happy, but just kind of kept, on thinking, it'll click at some point. It'll happen. But she came home at the end of that first year and was like, okay, did that, and I'm not going back. So we were like, well, okay, what's the plan?
Yeah.
So that's where we were.
So then did you kind of put that on her of like, that's fine, but you need to figure out,
Yes.
like you need to figure out something that you're going to be doing. And
Oh, yeah. Well, she pretty much said when she came home, she's like, I'm not going back to UTC. I really want to go to cosmetology school. And that was sort of the first I'd heard of like maybe wanting to make a career out of it, even though, as she said, she grew up in a competitive cheer, and in that industry there's a lot of hair and makeup and that sort of thing. and she was always sort of naturally inclined to, she just had a knack for that. So I knew there was an interest there. So I wasn't totally shocked when she brought it up, but I thought, you know, I still had that 4-year, you know, you got to get a 4-year degree mentality. So we said, well, let's take a semester off of college and give it some thought. We're not going to just jump into something entirely different. Just let's take next semester, you know, out of school and work and save up a little bit of money and, you know, do some investigating and make sure that's really the path you want to go. And if it is, then we will, you know, help you and support you at that time. So she just took a little bit of time, and that's what she did.
Yeah. So what was your idea of the beauty industry, or your perception of it before Sarah came into it? Or what did you think beauty school was going to be like? Or what was the idea that you had?
I really didn't have a perception, good or bad. It's just not something I ever really thought about. I just thought you finish high school and you're going to college, and that's it. So I really didn't know. I guess I thought, well, she's just going to learn how to cut hair. But there was a lot more to it. So I think I just didn't have all of the facts. I really didn't know what all it entailed and what the training would be, and then what the opportunities would be.
Yeah.
So it really took some, investigating on her dad and my part to figure that out.
Now, did you come with her on her visit to the school, like when you called Tennessee School of Beauty and set up a tour? Because I know you had a background with it. You were familiar with Tennessee School of Beauty.
Yes.
And had a connection here.
We definitely do have some ties to Tennessee School of Beauty. So, and I think maybe we came here a time or two for like prom hair and makeup.
Okay.
So had been over here, but never really behind the scenes or anything like that. So I did come with her. She told me she had scheduled, that fall she had scheduled a time to come out and tour, and I think we visited with you some. So I wanted to definitely come with her and kind of check it out. So that, I think, is when things kind of really changed or really clicked, and I kind of really got on board with it at that time, because I could see everything that was going on around us. And like right behind you is the makeup designery, the MUD program, that I really didn't realize you did that as part of the, traditional cosmetology experience. And she was also very interested in the makeup and being a makeup artist. So, I started to see what some of the possibilities were that I didn't know prior to that. So that's kind of when I got on board, was after that visit.
Yeah, I think coming in and checking it out, when, like you said, it's not like you had a good perception or bad perception. It's just you needed to know what it was, what it was all about. So I think coming in, definitely helps. I think we always encourage parents to come in and see the school so that you'll see what you'll be doing. Tell us a little bit about your, not an attitude change or like a happiness that you felt in coming in. What was that like for you as a student to be like, I'm finally doing what I want to be doing, I can take a breath and relax. What was that moment like?
It just felt really good to know that, because when I was in college, I had no idea what I would want to do moving forward. But then when I came here, I realized I'm in the right spot and I'm in the right path to start my career. And I'm in a good spot moving forward. I know what I'll be doing. So it just felt good to be sure of myself and where I was at.
I think she felt some relief.
Yeah.
Because she really struggled that first year in college of like, I don't know what to major in. Just a little bit of panic. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just have no idea what to major in. And here it's like, okay, here's the path is laid out and I just have to do the work. So I think she felt very relieved.
Yeah, definitely. And having that hands-on experience, was that so helpful? I mean, did you do so much better? I don't remember like your grades from beauty school, but did you do like so much better here than traditional college because you were hands-on and stuff?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I could tell a big change. Like even in our first day of class, like we still had lectures and had to learn like the history of hair and everything that's like, it's just so complex, everything that you're learning, and you don't think it would be. But coming in, it was just so much easier because especially like I had the best teachers. They were all amazing. But even if we were doing lectures and things that would just be on the board, they would still give us like examples and like show us different things and like help us do things more hands-on than just like listening and writing down what we need to be knowing. So that really helped me a lot in making sure that I was doing things correctly and figuring it out for myself. So that helped me a lot. It was good.
And I think just having those people, you mentioned the teachers, I think that when you're in traditional college and you have, professors, it's not always as available. I mean, there's office hours, but you're not going to get as close as you do with your cosmetology teachers because they're with you from day one. I mean, they're holding your hand along the way, all the way until the day you graduate. They're a part of that with you. So I do feel like there's a lot more support.
Yes. Because in college, like your teacher, especially because I went to a big college. I didn't just go to like a community college. I had huge classes. So like teachers aren't going to know everybody's name. They're not going to work with each person individually. And here at TSB, we don't have hundreds of people to a class. We've got a few to where your teachers can spend time individually with you each day and figuring out like what you need help with. And it helped a lot because I had more like teacher time instead of just me hoping I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Now, Carrie, I know it's still early in her career, but how are you feeling now that she's in it? Are you like, okay, she did the right thing? Like, I'm so happy she went to beauty school.
Very much so. Yeah, it's been fun. In fact, her first day at Von Jones, she was on break and she called me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love it here.
Aww.
This is so much fun. It's so great, and I really like the people that I'm working with, and I can tell I'm doing the right thing. I love helping out. I'm excited to learn from all of them. So yeah, it's been really fun to see that and
Good experience.
and to know that she's learned a skill that she's going to be able to, or skills that she will be able to use to to make a living.
Yeah. Sarah, do you have any advice for someone who's like in traditional college right now that maybe wants out and wants to go a different path on where to start or how to begin this journey?
I would definitely say do it. Don't wait and just be sitting around thinking like, because you don't know what you want to do. Because I still wasn't even sure until the minute I walked in here and saw what all I was going to be doing. And if you don't have the support right away, like definitely bring them in to see, like, because like my mom said, she didn't really know until she came in and saw like what all I would be doing. That's where her support came from at that moment. So definitely bring your family in to see what all you want to do, and so they can understand where you will be going moving forward from this. So I think it was a great opportunity and it's really fun. Yeah.
Carrie, do you have any advice for parents on the parent side of this?
Yeah, just, keep an open mind if you're like me and you're just thinking automatically, okay, finished high school, now we're going to college for 4 years. If they're inclined to want to do something else, definitely look into it and take some time to come to the school and do the tour and try to learn a little bit about it. And also, something else I did was just visit with some, your own hairdresser, or, I've got a friend that owns her own salon and this has been her career for the past 25 years. And I, talked to her about it and got her take, and just do a little bit of, homework and investigating and figuring out what it's all about so that you can, get on board with it.
I love that. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. It was so good to see you again. And thank you for watching, and make sure you're following us on all of our social media at Beauty School Bobby, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.